2, you guys, of website Smackdown. So, you guys, I don't know if I should rename this website Smackdown because it kind of sounds aggressive, like I'm gonna like really throw you under the bus with your website. But honestly, here's my intention. I want to look at your website or anyone who's willing and show you what you're doing well and where the opportunities are. And you know what? 80% that I'm going to show you guys, you can do yourself. You can tweak them or maybe have your VA do. So there's no, shaming people on this show or anything. I just want to share great value with you. That's kind of my passion. I have this weird superpower where I can look at a website and within 5 seconds, I know how to improve it. It's kind of a weird power. The second superpower I have is parking karma. I don't know why I have parking karma, but I always get a parking space in the front row. So if that's what God has given me, then thank the Lord. Anyway, hi, I'm Pia, and I'm coming to you live. Oh my gosh. And today is episode 2 of Website Smackdown. And we're going to look at One Smart Cookie, who Karen is a brilliant social media marketer, and she specializes in marketing on LinkedIn. If you don't know her, you should go to her website and sign up for her 30-day LinkedIn challenge. And she is actually on live now. Hey, Karen. You brave soul. I'm just kidding. Anyway, she's really good at what she does. She specializes in working with restaurants and the hospitality industry, which is really exciting because I don't know if Karen knows, but I just joined the Washington Hospitality Association. I know it's weird, but I have this obsession with the food industry. I'm a foodie. My grandfather used to cook for the Queen of Denmark. I know, right? And he used to be a chef on a boat, and my dad was a gourmet cook, and I owned a catering company in California. So there's a lot of food love there. So I just think restaurants are part of our lives, and I love to help them out. Anyway, so let's get into it, right? I'm going to share my screen. Okay, and I'm going to make, let's see, I don't want to be bigger. I want to be smaller. There we go. And I'm going to hide this so we can see the full screen. Hey, Karen, you want to give me just a shout out that you can see my screen? And let's see here. I'm going to pull up. There we go. Here's what I'm going to do. This will be a lot better. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah? Okay, great. Thanks, Amy. Okay, so I'm just going to dive in. I'm not going to look at your comments because I really want to focus on Karen's website and give great value. And if you know anyone who wants to have me look at their website and just give you some great tips on how to improve for massive change, feel free to invite them to these live videos. I'm going to try to do them, try to do the Smackdown every 2 weeks. Anyway, so let's dive in. Okay. So what I like to do is, and I did this already yesterday, so I kind of prepared, but what I love to do is to go to the site with brand new eyes. So I've gone to Karen's site before in the past, but it's been a while. So the idea is that on desktop, for a prospect, you have 8 seconds to capture their attention, and then they're out of there. They close, they click the X button to close the site, or they get distracted. So you really had to hook them, right? So not just hook them with, kind of interest and get them to read further, but they have to know that they're in the right place for what they're looking for and the problem that they need solved. And they have to have a good experience, right? Because even if you can solve their problem and they don't have a good digital experience with your website, they're going to bounce. And to go deeper on that level, if they bounce, that sends a message. And when I say bounce, I mean close the window or go off of your website. And what I mean is that Google will take that notice and they will say, oh, either you don't have what they need, or you're not giving them what they're searching for, or you don't have quality content, or you don't have a good experience on the web. So keep all those things in mind. A lot of my clients that I talk to initially when we first start working together, they're like, God, I didn't know there was so much thought that goes into it and so many levels. And there are. I mean, think about it. Websites have been around for a long time now, right? Well, the first one was what, the 1950s? I'd have to check my history books, but and it used to be where you could just throw up a website. I had a conversation with a prospect this morning, and I hadn't worked with her. She was a past client of mine 4 years ago, and she said, yeah, we can just do what we did 4 years ago. And I'm like, I would not feel good about taking your money if we did things the way we did 4 years ago, because I know they're not going to work. So that's why I am your marketing crash test dummy, and I will be happy to test things out for you and share my knowledge. So when someone's on a website, on a desktop, you have 8 seconds to capture their attention. You have 4 seconds on mobile. And since 75% or more of your first-time prospects or looky-loos that are looking for what you have are on mobile, then this is really important. Not only that, but I'll repeat this. I do it every time. Google is going to serve up only mobile-friendly sites. Only mobile-friendly sites. So you will be invisible if your site is not mobile-friendly. Guess what, Karen? Your site is mobile-friendly. Woohoo! So I'm very proud of you. It's all mobile-friendly. It looks great. It's got the little navigation right at the top. It's got your logo. It's even got your LinkedIn challenge. I'm going to take this off. So it's great. And you can go and test your site. You can just basically type in mobile-friendly test into Google and type in your URL, and it'll serve you up either a green or a red saying that your page is mobile-friendly. Now, if your page is not mobile-friendly, there might be a few minor tweaks that we can do or you can do to get it to be mobile-friendly. If it's a really, really old site, chances are you're going to want to redo it, but that's a whole nother conversation. Anyway, so congratulations. Then I did a test on how fast your website loaded. So this is part of the, when people say user experience, if you've heard that term UX, user experience, your site has to load super quick because people have digital ADD and they're all over the place and they're just like, oh my gosh, I've got so much to do. I don't have time for this. I just need an answer. I just need this. I just need a phone number. I just need like to do some research, right? So you've got to have a quick loading site. So one of the tools I use, and there's plenty of them, is called Pingdom, pingdom.com, and you just type in your URL. Now you want to, I don't know why they only have these 3 choices, but you obviously want to test the one that is closest to you. So I chose San Jose, California, and it's going to load up and it's going to give you so much information. Now, you guys, you don't need to know what this all means, okay? So I'm just going to show you what to look at. And let's see here. Where are we at? Okay, so it ran. So you have a B, which is outstanding. It's great. You'd be surprised. I'd say about 75% of the sites that we do reviews on are either a D or an F. So you want to be at least a B. If you're a C, there might just be a couple tweaks that we could get your grade up. And hey, it's back to school, right? Everyone wants to get good grades. I know I was an A student, so I want to help you get A's. Anyway, so this is still good. This is great. Load time is a tad high, but we can fix that for you, Karen. No problem at all. So don't worry about this. This is something to do with WordPress. There's nothing you can do about it, but you got A's down here. Now, another thing to look at is if you had, some broken links or anything, but you don't have any broken links. And like I said, all this stuff you don't need to worry about. So we just do this test, and if you get a good grade, congratulations. So, Karen, you are scoring big time right now. Okay, so back to what I was saying about capturing my attention. So there's been a lot of discussion around having a carousel that will loop around on your homepage. I'm not a big fan. I used to be a fan because it was kind of a thing, but they've done more studies. And I have to remember to look at the camera. Sorry, you guys. There's been more studies that you lose people when you use a carousel. And again, if you only have 8 seconds on desktop and 4 seconds on mobile, what's the one thing you want a new person to know? Is it to hire you? I mean, I know you do a lot of speaking. Is that your number one goal? Is it to download your free report, meaning building your email list? Or is it to take the LinkedIn challenge? So again, here's another thing. We have a lot going on. What do you want me to do, Karen? Like, pretend I don't know you. Like, I own a business and I need to market it and nothing, I have no leads coming in. What do you need me to do so I can get money in my pocket? So there's another call to action up here. There's who you work with down here. So my recommendation, and this is probably really easy for you to do, is to really ask yourself, what is the lowest hanging fruit for you? What do you want right here, which is prime real estate above the fold? I know people scroll, but again, you have 8 seconds to capture their attention. What do you want above the fold that will make them stop? Because that's what our intent is. The new asset these days is people's time, right? And which, by the way, thank you for giving me your time on this live. I honestly really appreciate it. I love doing these, but I also love helping people, stand out online. So I don't know what your goal is. Maybe you can tell me in the comments, Karen, what you're thinking would be the biggest. Okay, here's a fourth one. Stop falling down the social media rabbit hole. Give me a plan. This is what I would put here. That's just me. Because a couple things. Give me a plan sounds like I want a plan right now. Like, let's do it, right? But of course, I'm a doer. If you guys know the Myers-Briggs, I'm a J. So give me a plan, right? The other thing I would recommend is that you change the color of this button to not red and not blue. You want something that stands out. I wouldn't even do red because you've got red up here. So something that's unexpected. So orange or I don't know, something that's going to stand out. Because if you want them to get, I haven't clicked this yet, but if you want to get their email address to market to them in the future, I would do this. Now, you have this great video. I watched the video. I love it. You really concise about what you do and how you can help. I would definitely take advantage of this because people like doing business with people they know, like, and trust. And if I don't know who you are, I've never met you, I don't know that you're a lovely person, I don't know you're an expert, the next best thing is to see you on video. Because, I mean, even if it's pre-recorded, I mean, live is really, really raw, but even if it's recorded, you can't really hide your true personality and your true depth of knowledge in video. So that's my first suggestion. I love the title, Stop Falling Down the Social Media Rabbit Hole. Love, 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 love that, because I resonate with that. Everyone resonates with that. It's like, we just want your help, Karen. We just want you to take our hands and lead us to the path of success in social media marketing. Okay, so that's what I would recommend. The other thing too is you might want to rename this. It kind of threw me off. It says Image 2413. I'm sure you didn't do it intentionally. It's just the name of the video. But I don't know. I would just say your name or your brand or something like that. Yeah, so that's what I would do. My system will show you how to manage your social media activities in just 30 days. I love it. Let's see what happens when I click it. Uh-oh. Okay, that's not good. So I'm sure that you can fix it. It's probably because you have a broken link or something. Maybe you moved the page. Karen, if you have the actual page for that, if you could post it in the comments, I kind of want to see what this page looks like. So we'll look at that later. Okay, so let's go back to the home page. And I have notes. I have lots of notes here. We talked about the carousel. Now, I know I wouldn't say this for Karen, but most people these days, best practices are to put these social media links and icons into the footer. That's what is working these days. Because think about it. You don't want people to leave your website. Not yet. because you want to nurture them, you want to inform them and entertain them and get them to go deeper in your website. The longer they stay on your website, the higher up you will appear on search results with Google, because Google likes when you're feeding them good content and they're interested. That's why video works. Okay, you guys putting the puzzle pieces together. I hope this is starting to resonate with you guys. But for One Smart Cookie Marketing, because she's in this industry, I'm okay with these being here. I'm totally fine with that. I think that's great. I just want to make sure, I'm going to click on, yep. So you just want to make sure that when you have these links that they are opening up a new tab. Do you guys see that? Okay, good. All right. Next, what are we doing here? Oh, so down here, these are the company, not companies, these are her target markets. She works with restaurants, food and beverage companies, and solopreneurs. These are great. Let's see here. I would just add something like up here just to say, here's who we help, or are you a food and beverage? Something, just so it flows so they know what they're getting into. So when I click on restaurants, okay, so this is great. Here's another thing I discovered. I think you have a LinkedIn interview on NBC, and it was created with Flash. Flash does not work anymore. Excuse me, Flash does not work anymore on anything. You could probably download a Flash player, but most people don't have it on their phones or on their desktop. So if there's any way that you can get this interview, it's probably a little bit old, but I love the idea that you're posting your interview here. I would definitely see about maybe going back to King 5 and getting the video that's not Flash player. Or, yeah, we can talk offline about this. I have some workarounds for this, because this happens often when you're grabbing videos from news feeds or what am I trying to say? Media companies. Anyway, okay, you're an independent restaurant owner and proud to not be part of the large national chain. Perfect. You're talking my language. You're explaining my pain. I am not a national chain. I am an independent, badass restaurant, and I love my passion about food, but I don't got time for the social media stuff. I need your help. So that's great. Who we are, you put this is brilliant. I love this. So you're talking to me, if I'm a restaurant owner, your challenges, what you need most right now, social media program you'll thrive in. But Karen, guess what? I went on these buttons and they're all broken. So let's fix this today. I want you to fix this today for me. And if this doesn't exist anymore, then I'm sure you have something that we could put in its place. Anyway, love how you set this up. Let's see. Okay, so you've got some ways to build your email list, which is brilliant, because then you can market to prospects. You can kind of nurture the relationship, so when they're ready to buy, they will think of you first, right? So this is the 30-day challenge. I love it. It opens up in a new tab, and it is 30-day challenge where she emails you once a day what to do, and it's super cheap, you guys. It's $47. Love it. You should check it out. So that's great. This is one way for her to build her email list, right? So the other way is download your free report. And Karen, I downloaded this like years ago and I loved it. So I don't know if you knew that, but let's see here. This is a little hard to understand. Enter your email address and get your report now. It's a little too light. So, but we're going to try it anyway. Send it to me. Okay, I hate when email providers do this, when they say I haven't filled it out yet. That's why there's errors, you silly. Anyway, so yeah, so this is all working well. The only thing I noticed, and this just might be me, but when I came to this website, I was like, oh, she's got this offer twice. But no, in actuality, it's a free report with a similar branded look. So that's why I was confused, because this one is a book that you can purchase on Amazon, marketing your restaurant in 30 minutes a day. And this is a free report. So Karen, I might want to consider, like, this is kind of your touchstone. So I would leave that, but maybe do a different graphic for this one so it doesn't feel like it's the same, because I'm not really going to read the book cover. Does that make sense? And I probably won't even see the difference. Literally, I won't if I'm just there for 4 seconds, right? Okay, moving on. I don't think you need these categories on the regular pages. This is just a regular page. I would get rid of this because anytime people see a date that's like old, subconsciously they're going to say in their heads, oh my gosh, she's outdated. She's not on trend. She's not like with it. She's not like staying up with the current best practices. And we know that you do. And we know that this is just a page that was published on this date. But if you could remove these, it's WordPress, so I'm sure you can. That would be helpful. And then I'm going to go back here, back to the homepage because we're not quite done. So the same thing with food and beverage companies you did, solopreneurs, just so you're aware the link to your offer is broken on all 3 pages. So let's get that fixed today for you. Latest posts. So here's my next piece of advice for you, Karen. And this is for everybody who is showcasing your most recent blog post, your most recent event, your most recent or latest post. This is not latest because I went in here, I was like excited because I'm like, I could go September 13th. That's just next week. Well, this is from 2016. So you want things. You either want to not show the latest posts or you want to put in 3 articles. So write 3 articles that are more timely because these are all pretty old. This is from 2016. So you could also highlight past events and just make that another page. Your expertise that you are being invited to speak in all of these places. So, but I wouldn't say latest post because this is misleading because I'll see September 13th and go, oh, cool, I can go see Karen and you've led me down the rabbit hole. And that does not leave a good taste in people's mouth, especially if you're in social media, right? You want to be current. And I know you are current. Buy the book, simple, okay. So that goes to Amazon. Contact Karen. What else did I have here? Oh, on this here, there was one broken link. I don't remember what it was. Okay, so first of all, Karen, let's get this challenge. Let's get this to open up in a different tab if you decide to stick with the carousel. Book your event. Let's see. Yeah, this is the one. So you no longer have a page called Karen Speaks. So that link is broken, and I'm sure you could easily fix that. That's speaking. Let's see if that's, yeah. So here's your booking page. So I think it's just a matter of keeping the links current. Hey, you guys, I just launched my website 6 weeks ago, and I already have broken links. It is a nonstop vigilance that you have to continue to look. And there is no one-stop solution to find broken links, unfortunately. So you just have to just pretend like it's your house. And if you don't clean your house every week or whenever you do it, it's going to collect dirt and it's going to be less appealing. It's just like your house, but online. But it's more than just a house. It's your income. It's your life. It's your passion. It's your business, right? So you have to maintain your website. And we help people maintain their websites all the time. And one of the things is broken link monitoring. It's huge because these are really bitter taste in people's mouth when they go to a broken link. It's psychologically, it's like, oh my gosh, she doesn't care about her business, which we know is not true. Okay, so moving on, let's see here. Talked about that. Okay, let's go to your blog and see what that looks like. Okay, if no one is commenting on them, which is fine, no one comments really on blogs anymore. I mean, unless you're Marie Forleo or one of the big leaders. So this can be easily turned off. Psychologically, subconsciously, people just don't like to see that, and it's not necessary. It's not doing any good. Again, here are the dates. You know what you could do, not with events, but if you do any blogging, Karen. Which I highly recommend. Yeah, and you've done some blogging in the past. I think that your business, you're doing other things like LinkedIn, you're doing a lot of speaking. So I just think this is a matter of updating with a couple of really good in-depth LinkedIn articles. I would turn off this. So I don't need to know when it was posted. And the nice thing is, again, outside of events, the nice thing is if this is a article that you're sharing with us and teaching us something that's not going to change for a while, we can create an evergreen blog post. An evergreen blog post means that it can help and work for years on end. I did a blog post 6 years ago about how people think about logo design and symmetry, and I got really geeky on it, and I compared different logos and how they appeal more than others, and I'm still getting hits on it 6 years later because this idea of symmetry and how a logo and a brand is conceived will never change. It will never change. Your logo mark is very important on so many different levels. So remove the published date. You don't need to have the author in there because I think you're the only one that's writing it. I could be wrong. And then, keep these if they're still relevant. Yeah, so that's my tip on your blog. Let's see, what else did I have here? Facebook ad, Facebook video. Oh, so Facebook video. I would encourage to do some more Facebook videos and to add them as blog posts here. Let's see here. Oh, so you're the LinkedIn maven, right? So you're helping people with LinkedIn. I would love to see some statistics of your VIP clients that you've worked with and how they've had success. So I noticed that under services, you have testimonials. Used back in the day, but now putting testimonials on one page is not really recommended because no one has time or really cares, and they're not going to really read your testimonial page. Instead, what I help clients with is to pick testimonials that speak directly to the service that you're providing and put that on that specific service page. Okay, so get rid of the testimonial page and just scatter these on each of your services pages. But I want to see numbers, not numbers like I've raised 50% or whatever, but like I want to see in big bold letters, I increased my my business by 50%, or I got 3 new clients within 30 days, or something like that. That's really going to stop me in my tracks and get me to hire you or call you or phone. So that's one thing on testimonials. Then under services, I wouldn't put restaurants, food, beverage. I would put this under a tab called who we work with. Yeah, who we work with, or I can come up with a better title. Facebook daily checklist. That's interesting. I would expand on this, Karen. I would do a whole blog post, maybe even a video screencast on it. And I would make this an opt-in, meaning someone has to give you their email to be able to download this, because this would be highly valuable if you just expand on it and make it like maybe a 50-point checklist or a 25-point checklist or something like that. Another opportunity for people to opt in. And then I would put it under resources instead of services, because really your services are managing social media. So yeah, we can talk offline about this, but and then you have LinkedIn daily checklist. Again, same thing. I would put this behind an opt-in and do a video, do a blog post about it, create some really good value behind it, and get this guy fixed. Events, you could easily turn this page off since it's outdated, or you have a lot of events I know that are coming up where you're going to be speaking. Just add those there. Let's see here, this is great. I love this picture. The only thing is that it's a solid graphic. It's the text cannot be read by by search engines. So that's the only thing. It's not a big deal because it's a testimonial, but if you were to talk about your services in here, Google can't read and index this information, so it's going to hurt you. But in this case, it's fine. Let's see here. Consulting clients. Oh, okay. These are the clients. Great. And I know you've worked with some heavy hitters in the field. So that was the other thing. I think you should bring that out on your homepage. I think you should make people aware, excuse me, that you worked with, local restaurants and who you've worked with and who you've helped. So I would put that on your. Let's see, what else do we have here? Spread out more resources, services page, book, events, how it stats, add, remove dates. Okay, read text. Okay, great. That's it. I think overall your site is great. I think the copy is great. I think your personality shines through. I think there's a few things that are a little outdated that you can easily fix. I love when I can tell people that they can fix what's wrong with their site for big changes. So if you guys like this, go ahead and give me some hearts. Please share it because people can watch this during the replay, and they can. You can help other people find out what's wrong with their site. Hey, Stacy Fishergun, what are your tracks for broken links? They're great. You need to have them. The thing is, okay, so this is a little, how do I explain this so when you have a website from day one, your website is collecting what I call Google juice. Okay. It's collecting authority. The older it gets, the better it gets, the more value your website. This is why it kills me when people come to me and say, oh yeah, I want to redesign my site and I'm going to change the URL. No, don't do that. Everything, I'm going to scratch it, start from scratch. No, don't do that. You've got value in the content. I've got stuff that is still on my website. It's reworded, but I still have the same concepts that I had 10 years ago because there's so much value in that. So redirects are great because when someone lands on the page, even before they get to the redirect, Google is giving you credit for that old link. But obviously you want the person to go to the new link. I hope that answers your question, Stacy. So redirects are great. In fact, when you redesign a website, make sure that you ask or tell your web designer that they need to make sure that what it's called 301 redirects are being done properly. I can't tell you how many times people have come to me after they've redesigned their websites and all of a sudden they're invisible to search engines. All of a sudden they're not getting any phone calls. All of a sudden they have no more leads. Their email list is run dry. And the reason is they unfortunately worked with a web designer who didn't know how to handle redesigning a current website. It's easy to do a new website, right? Because you're starting from scratch, from zero. But when you're redesigning a website, we have like a 50-point checklist of what we have to do to preserve your old website and the value that it has in Google's eyes. Okay, so important. If you guys are working with a web designer or you're going to get a redesign, make sure you have a conversation with your web designer and say, hey, I understand that redesigning my website has some risks and I don't want to lose any of my rankings with Google or any of that. Please tell me what you're doing to preserve that. Okay, have that conversation. Great. So if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Again, if you could comment below with your biggest takeaway in this audit, that would be great. Share it with your friends and coworkers and family and anyone who you think found value. And we'll see you next week, or not next week, in 2 weeks. We're going to do another website Smackdown. Thanks, Karen, for playing. Bye.